Miami Beach, boy oh boy, do I have some crazy data for you guys in this video. We're gonna be looking at all the important data that you need to know in order to make the best informed decision for yourself and your family in the Miami Beach real estate market. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent, and all my contact info is in the description down below if you guys would like to reach out. And this is my first video I've done about the market specifically in Miami Beach. So if that's something that interests you guys, not only should you check out the video, but maybe go ahead and give me a like button, smash, obliteration, annihilation, or whatever suits your fancy. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss videos like this in the future, and let me know in the comments if this is something that you guys enjoy. If you'd like to see other neighborhoods in Miami, let me know. I'm open to it. So without any further ado, let's open up into this data right here. And the first griggity graph that I want to show you guys is this one right here. Super fun looking graph. I know, I love graphs. I know you do too. So we're looking at sales activity and prices first. We're gonna look at condos separately from single family homes because there's such different sub-markets within the market. So first and foremost, what we see here is our median sale price is the green line. Number of sales is the blue line, okay? So median sales price was 410,000 here for February, which actually in January of 2023, it was 476,000. So that's actually a 13.9% decrease month over month. However, December of 2022, so, a couple months ago, was 350,000, which would be a 17.1% increase, okay? So you can see that in the green line here, prices are just going back and forth like wild swings, right? Now, why is this happening? Well, we are calculating this from 11,000 listings since January of 2019. But when you have not a ton of data and you also have data where there's wild swings within the prices, then you'll see sort of bigger swings like this in the data, okay? So kind of take this as a grain of sand. What you really want to do is if you're looking for a condo, you want to run comparable sales and analyze what those comparable sales sold for, right? In order to understand what the current market value of a condo is. That's where working with a professional realtor comes in. But we're going to still go over this price data so you guys can see. And also we noticed that, over time, here you got a big pandemic pop off in the median prices because everybody from New York was like, well, might as well move to Miami Beach, and other states as well. But overall, you can see it's an upward trend, right? So prices are going up overall, okay? Now, let's talk about the number of sales. So there was actually 123 sales. You can see the blue line here tanking into the mantle of the earth. So in February 2023, there was 144. In February of 2023, there was 123 and then 144 in January, okay? So that's actually, pretty substantial decrease month over month. And the last time that sales were this low was in August of 2020. So we have to go all the way back over here into this range, right after the pandemic had started and things were frozen. People were trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Sales really tanked into the basement. We are seeing the similar amount of sales, which is echoed in the market overall in Miami-Dade as well. And now sales year over year also decreased tremendously from 341 last February, which was right here-ish, right? 341 to 123 now, like I mentioned, okay? So that's a difference of, get ready for this, guys, drum roll, please. That's a difference of 63.9%. That is insane, okay? So the number of decreased number of sales is just absolutely mind-boggling, okay? So let's keep it moving and let our brains recover from that data real quick. Let's look at single-family homes. Same data points, but for single-family homes, like I said, we're looking at them separately because they're so different, okay? Now, median sale price is 2.4 475 million for single family homes in Miami Beach. That's down from 2,837,500 in January, okay? So we see that green line again, boom, that little decrease there. Now you see these wild swings. That's just, and we are using medians. We're not using averages here because like I always say, you don't want to do averages for sales prices because there's homes on Miami Beach that sell for 8 million, 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, right? And it throws off your averages. So medians get you a little bit better of data, but again, we're working with very few number of listings. So, it makes the sort of the confidence interval of our statistics less, but it's still the data, okay? Now, that's a 12.8% decrease from January to February, but December of 2022 was 2.35 million, which would be a 20.7% increase. So, there is some seasonality in the pricing as there is with any market, right? And of course, like I mentioned, there's the low number of inventory. Like for number of sales, for instance, here on our blue line, we had 14 sales in February of 2023. 14, that's it. And it was down from 16 in January, okay? So, we've had low sales for a while, as you can see here, since basically July of 2022, right around here. We've been in this looks like a little dipper, going on there. And the year-over-year difference of sales is pretty substantial. If we go over here to February of 2022, the year-over-year difference there is 44%, okay? So boom, right here, this February number, 44% decrease in number of sales since that point in time. So that's pretty crazy, And next up, we're going to talk about supply, okay? So let's look at supply for condos in Miami Beach. This is a nice, kind of like a calming graph. I like it. It's very zen, okay? So the condo active number of listings in February of 2023 was 1,432. That's down 2.8% from the month before and 9.3% year over year, okay? So active number of listings, that's the green line, just a little chill 2.8% decrease, nothing crazy. And year over year, you're looking at a 9.3% decrease, okay? Now, number of new listings is the blue line there, and new listings were 295 in February, which, was actually less than January, as you can see, where we had 379, okay? So that's a decrease of 22.2%, all right? And a year-over-year difference, if we go back here, boom, it doesn't look like that crazy of a difference because the line looks almost flat, but it's actually a year-over-year difference of negative 23.6, okay? So, our January of this year was actually closer to the numbers we had in February of last year. So we need more inventory. We need more active, listings. We need more new listings, right? Because here you see, this pandemic era, everybody came in, moved down to Miami Beach. They ate up all the inventory, and we just aren't seeing the amount of the number of new listings coming on the market in order to replenish the active pool of listings, which is very important. As long as you have low supply and high demand, Economics 101 tells us that puts upward momentum on prices, okay? So that upward price pressure is in very large part caused to the decrease and the constant lack of inventory here in Miami Beach, okay? And Miami in general, actually, because everybody and their mom and their grandma and their cousins, uncles, iguana is moving. Well, the iguanas are already here, but you guys get the point. So let's talk about single family homes next. Same thing. Active number of listings is the green line. New listings is the blue line. So active number of listings was 228 in February of 2023, down from 242 in January for a 5.8% decrease, okay? That's that little green line there. And you'll notice all these, these graphs, they're trending downwards, right? So we're having less inventory, less new inventory, right? Active number of listings is another way to say supply or inventory, right? So less supply and less new supply coming onto the market. So, not the greatest thing. However, at least the sales are like really low. So it's not like things aren't getting too drastic, but they're pretty drastic if to an extent. We need more inventory. I'm gonna start crying, okay? Now, year over year, this active number of listings actually increased. So if we go back over here in February of 2022, we had a 21.9% increase in new listings, okay? So came in at 40, for active number of listings, all right? Now for new listings over here, the blue line, that came in at 42 new listings versus 51 in February, okay? So, 9 less, and that's actually a 17.6% decrease, so pretty substantial, right? We want to see more inventory, as I've said for the 1,000th time. But year over year also was a decrease. We had 57 new listings last February versus, like I said, 42 for this February, which would equal a 26.3% decrease. Now, next thing I want to talk about here is days on market and months of inventory. So for anyone who doesn't know, months of inventory basically just means how long would it take to sell the existing supply of inventory if no new listings came on the market, okay? So it's sort of a measure of the rate of sales, okay? Now, the months of inventory is our blue line. Days on market is the green line. We're looking at median days on market, okay? And what we see here is that we're looking at single families first for this one, apparently. So our single family days on market actually went through the roof in February, as you can see here. It's been on a tear for a few months now, and it went up to 158 days on market, which is mind-boggling, up from 98 days on market in January of 2023. Okay, so just in 1 month, it went from 98 to 158, which is an increase in 1 month of 61.2%, okay? Now, that's not even the craziest part, because if we go over here, year over year, get ready for this number, because you already know that's going to be even higher. The year over year median days on market rose 187.3% from 55 median days on market in February 2022, okay? So that's crazy, from 55 to 158. That's crazy, okay? I'm going to say it again. That's crazy. Now, days on market in February of 2022, months of inventory stayed the same, rather, and we are just sitting at 15 months of inventory, as you can see in the blue line there. Now, the last February months of inventory was actually 7. So if we go over here, boom, we see 7. So it's more than doubled since last year, okay? So, less sales activity happening, less sales overall. Even though there's less listings, there's so few sales that our months of inventory has more than doubled in the last year. So interesting data, okay? Now let's go over to the next one here. And there it is. I skipped over it. We're good. So anyway, so our condos median days on market, again, that's the green line, months of inventory is the blue. Now our median days on market for condos rose significantly again to 77 days, up from 48 days in January, which is an increase of 29 days or 60.4%, okay? So another crazy number. And year over year, though, last February was 80 days on market. So that's only a difference of 3 less days, or negative 3.8%, okay? So, that's not that crazy, right? But we are seeing that big pop off in days on market over the last month, similar trajectory that we saw for single family homes. So days on the market in Miami Beach are shooting through the roof right now, and we're going to talk about what that means in a second. But first, let's talk about our months of inventory. Months of inventory rose to 12 months of inventory, up from 10 months of inventory here in the blue line right there. So from January to February, went from 10 months of inventory to 12 months of inventory. Year over year months of inventory has more than doubled from 5 months. Look how low we were here. We were at like 3 months of inventory right here, okay? And then February, it was at 5, right? And then now we're up at 12, okay? So pretty crazy stuff if you ask me. But what does it all mean, Jake? You're the real estate agent. You're the realtor. You're the expert. Tell me what it means, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. So the fact that we have such little inventory, okay, is not great for buyers to have a lot to choose from, of course. But what it is good for is, basically there's not a lot of competition out there because a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines for a lot of reasons. One of them is because people can't find what they're looking for. Another one is because interest rates are high. Another one is because a lot of the people who were like moving to Miami for like the whole work from home craze, they've either already moved here, maybe they moved back, maybe people who didn't decide to not move here after all or whatever. So a lot of the people who were buying things, putting in offers and stuff like that over the last couple of years, like 2021 and so forth, they've either already bought or they've already figured out their situation. So the whole move to Miami craze, although there is still a lot of people moving here, the onslaught of people moving here has decreased significantly, okay? And Miami Beach bore a lot of the brunt of that, honestly. So, there's a lot less competition out there in the market for buyers, okay? But as you can see, even though there's way less inventory, way less sales, we're also seeing that days on market is going up. Normally, what you would see when there's a decrease in the active inventory, usually you see like a feeding frenzy, which drives days on market down, right? But there's so few buyers in the market right now that the days on market are actually going up. So this is good news for buyers because you can actually negotiate a really good deal for yourself right now. It's pretty cool. I've been getting people deals left and right. It's fantastic. I love it. I love saving people money. I love making people money. I love getting people a good deal so that they walk into a property with like a ton of equity already. It's great. Love it. Now, if you're a seller, what this means for you is you got to market your property correctly. Number one, the most important thing is the price, okay? Listings don't sell for 3 reasons, okay? The most common one is the price. The next one is that, it either is difficult to show, right? Because there's not a lot of availability to show it, or like there's a tenant or things like that. And then the third one is that the property doesn't show well, AKA it's like dirty or it smells bad or something like that, okay? So those last 2 things are pretty easy to control. They're all easy to control for the most part, but the most important one, of course, is the price, okay? So it's really important to work with an agent who's not gonna tell you what you want to hear, but they're gonna tell you what you need to hear. That's where somebody like myself comes in, and using my market analysis and expertise, I'm able to tell you this is exactly what your property is worth. Here's the pricing strategy we should use in order to get the most amount of people bidding on this property in a time where there's record low sales, right? It's just never been more important to market your property correctly, not just the price, not just does it show well, is it available to see, often, but also too the actual marketing of the property. Do you have professional photos? Do you have professional video? Is there professional drone photos and drone video? Is there a walkthrough video of the property? Is there a Matterport 3D virtual walkthrough that people can, get an idea of what the property looks like from like a Google Street View type perspective? Is the property description good? That's a huge one that so many people overlook. There's so many things that go into it. And, it's just really important to work with a professional who knows what they're doing, okay? And somebody who's accountable, somebody who, when you call them, they pick up their phone. So, this is my invitation to you. If you're a seller or a buyer or an investor, I'm going to drop my number on screen right now. Call me, see if I pick up, all right? That's a challenge, all right? Because I pick up my phone. Unless your number shows up as spam likely or scam likely, I don't pick those up. But every other call that comes to my phone, I answer my phone, unless I'm like in the doctor's office or like something like that, in which case I'll call you back immediately. So it's really important to have somebody who's accountable, somebody who's going to be responsive and handle the sale of your property and treat it, with the utmost respect that it deserves, honestly. So that's my little spiel. That's my pitch. I'll get off my soapbox now. But it's just really important. And especially whether you're a buyer or seller or an investor in this market, it's important to work with somebody who knows the data, okay? And I could bore you guys. I could do a whole nother 20 minutes on that. But, I think I said enough. And, let me know if you guys enjoyed this in the comments again. And let me know if there's any other cities, municipalities, counties that you want me to do within Florida, anything that you guys want, I'm here for you, especially if you have smashed the like button, and even more, especially if you have obliterated the subscribe button, rang the notification bell, and my heart goes out to you if you have shared this video with anybody you know who might be interested in it, okay? Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, your Miami real estate agent, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.